Well, hello everybody. Welcome to beginner guitar video number 10. In this video, I want to cover, we're going to learn like a little baby piece of music that I kind of put together. It's called an etude. It's to teach you like a certain technique and you just kind of keep moving it around to get comfortable with it. And in this case, it's for your picking hand, or I'm going to show you how you could do it if you want to finger pick it. And I would recommend you learn it both ways. I'm a big advocate for like being able to use your hand either way. Finger picking is nice to have on hand if you want to use it, but some people don't care. And if you don't, absolutely just learn the picking. And I do want to point out, I get this is an etude going to be played on a classical guitar. If you're going to be an electric guitar player and you're going to play metal or shred or whatever, I still recommend you learn this because it's going to be alternate picking. And there's going to be some inside-outside happening. So I'm going to attempt to play it sloppily, I'm sure. I don't know why I still get kind of nervous and then my hand's like, Durr. But we're going to run through it a little bit. It's in G major, of course, because that's still what we're rocking out. What we're trying to put together is G major across the fretboard. Remember, with G major, all your opens are on the table always. And that's kind of what this etude is centered around, is you're using your opens quite a bit, but making these chord shapes over top. So you get this kind of like nice blend of things, but it's still got a nice body to the sound. So we're going to start with the G shape. And we're going to go from there. We're going to make a nice little thing. And it goes, hopefully like how I'm about to play it is how it goes. Let's see. And I survived it, crazily enough. Okay, so what we have going on there is your G major chord, your alternate picking over the strings. In that rhythm. So you've got down on the E string, up on the A, down on the D, up on the G, down on the D, up on the G. Now you're inside the strings. Your pick should be inside them. Down on the B string, up on the G, down on the D, up on the A. You start over. You go back down on the E string. That never changes throughout this entire piece. Okay? So your next chord, what changes is you move up to a C chord, you leave the B string open, and you fret the 3rd fret on that high E string. But picking hand is the same, only now you're up a string. It says down on the A string, up on the D string, down on the G, up on the B, down on the high E string, up on the B, down G, up D. You're back there. Okay. Now from there, the picking, like I said, never changes. You go back to the G chord where I was before, the exact same thing you did the first time. Back up to the C chord, exact same thing you did that first time. Now you move up to here. What do we have going on there? You're on the 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string, G and B are wide open, 5th fret of the high E string. Okay? Next shape, same picking, next shape. Okay, is 7th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D, G and B are wide open still. 5th fret of the high E string. You don't have to use these fingers. That's how I do it, just because they're in the same configuration as here. You just open these two up a little bit, and then way up here, same shape you were using here and here. Remember, I'm big on shapes. Same shape you're using there and there. Everything's in the same spots. Only on the A string, you're on the 10th fret. That's the root of it, in that same shape. The D string, you're on the 9th fret. High E string, you're on the 10th fret. Then you come back down to what you did on the 5th fret. Let it ring a little, whatever you like. Now, you don't have to play it identical to how I did, other than the picking. If you feel a nice little rest somewhere, if you feel happy doing stuff like that, change it up, make it your own. Let it flow the way you like it, but just make sure you're practicing that outside picking and the inside picking when you're coming back down. That's what we're trying to get this hand picking nice across other strings. Like I said, way up here, and then one more shape we gotta cover. Come back down to that G, and then you saw me do this number. Okay, so what changed was your ring finger stays where it was in that G chord. Your pointer goes back to the 2nd fret of the low E string. And your middle goes to the 2nd fret of the G string. And the A and the D strings are wide open. And that's implying your 5 chord to get you back home, which is, the D chord, which we've covered. You're just implying that. Only the F sharp note is what's in the bass now. If you want to know that, awesome. If you don't, forget what I just said and just learn that thingy back to there. And you've now played the Remy Etude. Oh boy. Now, you may think that kind of stuff is pretty, you may not care. Regardless of what style of music you're going to learn, I do recommend you learn to pick that by hand, stuff like that. It can be very useful, especially when you get into like shred guitar. To be able to flip your pick over and do different things with it is very, very handy. It's super useful. It's going to make you a way better player. Now, quick before we go, I said you could also finger pick it. So I'll cover what you're doing with your fingers. You've got thumb on the low E string, index on the A string, middle on the D, index on the G, middle on the B, index on the G, middle on the D, index on the A, thumb. To start over, you start on your thumb. When you go up to that C chord, is the exact same thing. So it's thumb, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, thumb. I have a fingernail giving me trouble. Rake it out with your thumb or your finger, or not rake it out at all. But I do strongly recommend, again, that you learn it both picking and finger picking. That's all I got today, is just some little simple etude I came up with that gives you a little song to play. I think it's a pretty tiny little piece of music, both pretty tiny in size and pretty, as in it sounds pretty. I think it covers both. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please learn it, get your hands moving around, And you know, all the scale stuff we've covered, that takes you way up into the register of where we've covered. And that's really all I did to put this thing together. I'm not thinking about what chords these are. I'm thinking about, okay, in G major, which notes can I use, and leave G and B wide open. That's all I was thinking about when I put that together. I'm not thinking, oh my God, that's a C chord and then a D and then an E. No, I didn't think any of that. So for you people out there that are a little scared about learning guitar and you think you have to think about all that stuff when you're playing, you don't. I rarely do. I went to college and studied music theory, and I rarely think about that stuff when I'm playing, because honestly, at the end of the day, that's not what's important about playing an instrument. What's important is playing things that make you happy, that express how you're feeling, that either soothe you or get out something that you want to get out. It's not about like being super cool and be like, yeah, I played a C add 9 chord today, you know, right before a B flat, whatever. If that stuff makes you happy, awesome. But if it doesn't, then you just need to express through this thing what you want to express, how you want to express it. So, you know, kind of went off in the weeds there, but I just wanted to make sure that people know that like what I just played, I'm not thinking about what chords they are. I was literally just like, oh, well, those notes all happen in G major, so I can use them, and I'm gonna. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Good luck. You're gonna do awesome with this. I'm sure you'll get it quick. Spend a little time on it, play with a metronome. You know, you could probably play it a lot better than I just did if you played it with a metronome, got super solid at it. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.